So now that Horde mode's been out for a couple of days now, and I beat it on a number of different difficulties and seen really everything this mode has to offer, I decided to put together a little guide of sorts for this game mode. Now, I feel like I really shouldn't have to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Because your weapons are always randomized, high value targets, demon spawns, buff totem spawns are always changing from game to game, so I can't guarantee you a perfect run each and every single time. A lot of that stuff really does rely on the luck of the draw, and plus, let's be honest, a guide where you want to follow it to a T to guarantee you a certain rank just isn't fun. Not for a mode like this. And a lot of the fun from this mode really does come from all the fuck scenarios you find yourself in. There's nothing more frustrating than having to take out a bunch of demons with just a combat shotgun and a rocket launcher. And there is a way to kind of game the system, but trust me, it's not fun. It's like cheating yourself out of Ultra Nightmare. It just doesn't feel the same. So what I'm gonna do here is, because obviously there's no such thing as a perfect run either, you're bound to fuck up somewhere, I'm basically going to explain to you the entire game mode, the mentality you want to get behind when it comes to the bonus rounds from Blitz, Traversal, and even the coin rooms, and we're gonna see if you can best your personal score, because that's the whole point of this. And plus, since I started thinking about it this way, I just continue to best my score each and every single time. But let's start off with the general overview. Your difficulty. There's no instant benefit for playing on anything hard. You don't get extra points for killing demons on Nightmare versus Ultraviolence in the middle of an arena or once you complete a mission. Your difficulty is, yes, a personal challenge, but the score from the difficulty comes into play all the way at the very end of the mode. When you beat Horde mode, you get an automatic additional score to your total score for beating the entire mode. How much score you get is based off of the difficulty that you completed it on. Untuned gives you 10,000 points, Hurt Me Plenty gives you 20, Ultraviolence gives you 30,000, and Nightmare gives you 40,000. So the difference between playing on the easiest and the hardest in terms of beating it is 30,000 points. And because I was asked this a couple times, the point of extra lives, beyond obviously giving you extra chances to beat arenas, is at the end of the game mode, you get 10,000 points for every life you have left over. And I believe you can cap out at 38 lives. I haven't been able to get any more than that. That's been doing all the blitz rounds, all the bonus rounds, collecting all the double ups during the traversals, and I've never been able to get higher than 38 lives. And so if you survive with all 38 lives, that's an instant 38,000 points. Also, if you don't use the BFG at all, that's 50,000 points. And we're all of different skill sets. This is clearly based off of a perfect run, doing everything, managing to not die or use a BFG shot. Someone might use that, lose all 50,000 points. They might not collect all their lives, they might die a couple times. But if you can achieve a perfect run, then score-wise, you're already ahead playing Nightmare than Ultraviolence or anything lower. But beyond that, there's no difference. Now, just like in the campaign, Horde mode has no real difference in between each difficulty. All the demons, all the arenas are relatively the same. The only thing that seems to really change are what your high value targets are going to be. And that's also not based on the difficulty that you're playing on. That's just based on the luck of the draw. But usually, if you play it enough, you'll know one of two things of what it's going to be. And what I mean is, in Holt, as an example, that first round of high value targets typically is either one Marauder or two Pain Elementals. That first arena in Reclaimed Earth is either 3 Cackle Demons or 3 Revenants. The last arena in Cultist Base is, on the first wave of high value targets, either Chain Gunners or Stone Imps. Second wave usually for me are Cyber Mancubi, although one run I did get 2 Dread Knights. The later arenas are a little harder because you gotta power through everything in between those, but usually it's one of two things. And what I'm getting at here is, if you played enough, you'll know potentially what you're going to be facing. Because the demons still are set, they're not 100% completely randomized. For the most part, the arenas are the same from game to game. It's really just the high value targets and where the demons themselves spawns relative to the position that you're in when they're spawning in. A quick example what I mean here is, if you reach that bonus wave in that first round of Cultist Base, that bonus wave always has you up against a Cyber Mancubus, a Baron of Hell, and a Bloodmaker. You're always going to be facing those 3. However, where they spawn in does seem to change, and I'm not entirely sure if that's based off of the position that you're in when they're spawning in, or if that really is a little bit of the randomization coming into play. But those 3 specific demons you're always going to come up against in that bonus wave. So with that general overview out of the way, let's run down how to separate yourself from everyone else, or even from your best personal score each and every single game. Now, when you start up, every mission gives you 3 challenges. If you're going for the highest score possible, then I'd recommend keeping an eye of these challenges, pinning them to your screen, playing and actively working towards completing them. You don't have to beat them in any one specific arena. You get the entire mission to get rid of all 3, which is good because in Cultist Base you have a challenge where you got to get rid of 3 weak points off of Mancubi, and you don't get any of those demons into the second arena. These 3 challenges never change. They're always the same from mission to mission, so as soon as you go in, you pretty much automatically already know what you're up against. But I'd still recommend pinning them to your screen because that's an additional 2,000 points for every challenge completed and an additional 2,000 for beating all 3. So in other words, if you do all 3 challenges, that's 8,000 points given to you just for playing and working towards those challenges on the side. 8,000 points, 24,000 total if you do all 3 in every mission, so ultimately it makes a huge difference. And sadly, I've tried this, the challenge score do not stack with multipliers. They are completely separate, so there's really no rewarding smart play combining these challenges with the timing of using these multipliers. But speaking of multipliers, now there's a little bit of a meta here. Yes, the ultimate goal is to kill all the high value targets while they're gold, so that way they drop the gold multiplier or the 4 times multiplier, which would then give you the opportunity to maximize your score provided you use it at the right time. Now I didn't notice this until making this video, but high value targets, when you kill them, the game gives you the base score for whatever demon that is, and then it adds the value of what color they were when you killed them. So for instance, right here in the hole, my 2 high value targets are pain elementals. The base score for killing a pain elemental is 100 points. I killed them both while they're gold, so I'm actually rewarded 500. Because as you notice from the scoring system, I got 100 separate points for the kill, and then the game added 400. And it's not the same as killing them when the multiplier is active, because right here, as I'm killing these demons while the multiplier is active, you'll see their bracket is highlighted, indicating that's actually the score that I'm getting for the kill, and it's not anything additional. And I thought that was important to point out because that means not only if you don't kill all the high value targets fast enough are you missing out on the best multiplier possible, but it also means you're missing out on points for each kill that you take longer to get rid of, affecting your point earning potential even more than just negatively impacting your modifier score. Multipliers can also be stacked and they're actually multiplied, they're not added. So in the last arenas of every single mission where you're stacked up against 2 waves of high value targets and you manage to get 2 gold multipliers, if you stack them, you're giving 16 times the points and not the 8 times that everyone thinks. Or even if you get a gold and a silver and you stack the 2 of them, that's 12 times the points versus a separate 3 and a separate 4 times. And with the multipliers active, you're given a damage boost as well. I'm pretty sure the damage doesn't stack and it's just a scoring thing, but regardless, when you have a multiplier active, crowd control is the name of the game. Ideally, you want to bunch them all up and get them as close to the multiplier as you possibly can. Maybe set up some frags, some sticky bombs, and an arbalist shot at the feet of some demons, all set to go off as soon as you grab that multiplier. So that way, you kill them, you get that point bonus, and you're still at the very top of that timer, allowing you to do as much damage as possible. The savagery room can also come in handy in situations like this because by chainsawing a demon or triggering a glory kill, it'll give you a nice speed boost to be able to run around the arena dropping any type of explosives down, raining hell, and even temporarily pausing the timer, giving you a moment to assess everything around you and kind of plan an escape route. I like setting up a lot of these bunch scenarios with a frag followed by a sentinel hammer, or if I'm dealing with demons that are a little bit more mobile like whiplashes or pinkies that tend to move around a lot, I'll try and bait them into a position that's close to the multiplier and it's easy to bunch a lot of demons in that area, hit them with an ice bomb, drop a grenade, grab the multiplier, and if the grenade doesn't kill them, then I'll finish that up with a sentinel hammer drop. But let's say you're in a situation where your arena score is lower than your last run. Maybe you got knocked into or forgot where the multiplier was, ended up running into it, and were forced to use it in an unideal time. I also want to throw this out here really quick. You can cheese the multipliers a little bit. As I mentioned, you can stack them, and let's say you accidentally trigger a multiplier or you're not sure what point you are in the wave, but you want to kill something a little faster. Maybe it's a marauder or whatever. What you can do is you can activate one of the multipliers prematurely, and then right before that multiplier ends, go grab the other one and your timer would reset. And when it resets this time, it gives you both multipliers. That's basically what I did in this gameplay. I picked up the gold one, I was killing things with the 4 times multiplier. Right before it ended, I went to go pick up my silver, and I got the timer reset, and everything I killed from that point on was 12 times multiplied. But let's move on to the bonus rounds now. The bonus rounds at the very least are good places for you to play catch up, or in the best case scenarios, an opportunity for you to blow the competition even further out of the water. And there's a trick to these. You see, the overall game mode doesn't end until you die and lose all of your lives. So if you fail these bonus rounds, the mode doesn't end, you just cut yourself short of the earning potential and lose out on extra lives. The blitz rounds give you the end goal, killing a certain number of demons before the timer ends, in order for you to progress to the next bonus round and receive 3 extra lives. Coin rooms require you collect all 20 coins before the timer's up to also receive an additional 3 lives, and traversal rounds are a little misleading. The goal of these aren't just to get to the portal before the timer's up, but rather collect all of the coins and get to the end portal before the timer's up. So you basically have to do both of those things. If you end up missing a coin or two and you end up getting to the portal, then the game will consider the traversal round a failure. Regardless if we're talking about the blitz, coin, or traversal rounds, you always want to start off strong because your points rely on initial speed. As a quick example, the first blitz room on Reclaimed Earth requires you kill 14 prowlers. In order to be awarded the 3 extra lives and be allowed into the coin room after this, you have to reach that goal. You're given a full minute to achieve this goal, which is pretty generous, but if you're going for maximum score, you want to not only get as close to that kill goal as possible, maybe even try to surpass it as aggressively as possible in the first 20 seconds. Why? Well, that's because just like the high value targets, as time progresses, the value for each kill starts to dwindle, and in the first 20 seconds, each prowler kill is worth 400 points. The next 20 seconds they drop down, the last 20 seconds they drop down again until finally the timer's up. Move over to the next blitz round, you have to kill so many Barons of Hell. In the first 20 seconds, every Baron kill is worth 800 points. And that's not just the mindset affecting blitz rounds, it also affects traversal rounds. Collect as many coins as you can within the first 20 seconds, every coin is worth even more. In the coin rooms, the same thing applies. Let's say you haven't found a way to collect all the coins while they're gold, well, your next best opportunity is to collect as many coins as possible while they are gold, and then collecting maybe 1 or 2 while they're silver. So while not a perfect run, it is the next best thing. I have been screwed a couple times with my weapon loadout, making some encounters really hard to maximize my score, but with this knowledge of at least knowing how I can make up for my score in the bonus rounds and extending the 16 or 12 times multiplier key moments really helped me boost my score more and more, so that when I do get a perfect run and don't get completely fucked over with my weapon loadout, I highly doubt anyone can really touch the score I end up with. But let me know what you guys think. I decided to not go fully detailed on runs and when to activate said multipliers for the reason of loadout luck, and Hugo has said that in the future encounters may be changed with the seasons, so enemy rosters in the current season may not be the same next season, and I wanted this to be a solid understanding of everything, so that way whenever you do take a look at this video, you have a solid understanding of the game mode, and it really is just based off of your luck of the draw and playing the mode itself a couple times, so that way you yourself know and practice what to do and how to do it, so that way you can improve your score each and every single time. Like always, let me know what you think. Let's talk down in the comment section. If there's anything I missed, feel free to obviously yell at me or correct me down below. Like always, if you haven't joined the Discord yet, link is down below in the pinned comment. That way there's a nice little community there to help each other out with improving your high scores or even talking strategies when it comes to the new master levels. But until next time, I'll see y'all later. I forgot to show my leaderboard rank that I keep doing better and better. And this is me playing with a cast. My wrist is fractured, so what's your excuse?